when they talk about a hope, where is the hope? What does it mean to have hope? It literally means that you and I need to have a new way of being and thinking. If we don't, what have we got? Nothing. The way you and I we have been is no longer sustainable. I tell this story about, I don't know if you remember the windstorm called Katrina. Yeah, many people went down there to experience the force of the wind, and many people died because of it. And many, many more barely survived. Few has a life. And that was one little storm. So now we know that we need to change the way we are. My mom says, melting the ice in the heart of man. And only by melting that ice in the heart of man, man will have a chance to change and begin using his knowledge wisely. It has now become a reality that you and me, we need to use our knowledge wisely. The greatest hope for mankind is you changing your ways, using your knowledge wisely. Pray to the Great One that you and I, we will use our knowledge wisely. And when we look at it physically, imagine the incredible knowledge you and I we have. Vast knowledge. But have we used it wisely?
Not always, that's for sure.
No. So that's what it is. Anyway, I talk too much.
No.
One day I will learn to truly listen.
I find it really interesting, the symbolic message that has been understood by yourself and your elders, where the melting of the ice and the melting of the ice in one's heart is the only way for it to be, it's like the old micro and macro symbiotic relationship of you see what's going on in the earth around you, and it's telling you to melt the ice in your heart. And it's doing it because we've taken so long to get to that point. So has anyone that ever researched climate change ever even thought of coming to your people and your elders and asking, from the scientific community, and asking, hey, we're a bit lost here. Could you help us out? Could maybe you give us a bit of insight? Has anybody ever approached you and said, I think we need help here?
And I'm so glad you brought it up. Many, many, many world leaders have gone to my country, and they have traveled a long distance to be there to see for themselves. No one has ever asked the elders. Not one of the state leaders who came to my country has ever asked the elders. And that is the issue the elders have taken up. The chairman of the Elders Federation says, I was born here. I am the first one who put my footsteps on this big ice. And I myself will be the last one to put footsteps on this ice before she melts. I have lived with that big ice longer than anyone else on earth. I know her history, I know her smell, I know her look, I know how she is, but no one ever asked me. I was in New York City, and I met a scientist who'd been up there 19 summers, who had never spoken to one single Eskimo, and asked them what they think.
That's just astounding to me. That's just unbelievable.
Isn't it fascinating?
It is. It truly is, because it's like people with those horse blinders on, walking in a straight line and not being able to look to left or right. Mm-hmm. This is one-track mind.
I am always very fascinated what we do to each other.
I know. It's just unbelievable. In doing some of my prep work, I came to understand, I think if I got this right, that you, and I know you're an incredibly humble man, but This is pretty amazing. You're the first shaman elected in over 200 years.
Almost 200 years. Almost 200 years, yes.
Wow. That's pretty significant and pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
As that Eskimo, elder, and shaman, what are your thoughts on global warming?
I have many, many, many thoughts, George. I have many, many thoughts. I believe that we have truly so much to realize about our world. It's an incredibly, awesomely beautiful land we live on. Climate is really changing, truly, truly changing. But we haven't really understood our land very well. And if we don't understand her, we will really lose a lot. We will lose so much. We will lose so much. And we are losing a lot. But we don't pay attention to what's happening around us. We rarely do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot. I see it every day.
Rarely ever do that.
Especially in the city.
Yeah. We need to really listen and pay attention to what's happening around us within.
Yeah, especially. This is interesting to me that this is happening in this time frame that we hear so much of, you know, the ending of the Mayan calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything similar in your people's, or any similar prophecies for this time frame?
It is like the Mayan was just part of our story. They say the way we know the calendar is coming to an end. And when you ask, what does it mean? They would say that we had spring, summer, fall, and winter, and there will be no more. And lo and behold, George, as you know, springs are changing, summers are changing, the falls are changing, the winters are changing. And when you ask them what would be there, they would say, nobody knows. And lo and behold, nobody really knows what's going to be there as the climate changes. The effect of it is phenomenal, but we have forgotten how to listen to it.
Yeah.
We literally have forgotten how to listen to it. It is as though that we don't believe the realities we're living with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're too stuck, working in this illusionary one.
Yeah.
So what action can one take to melt that fire within ourselves to help the world?
What would need to do? What do we need to do? I believe that you and I, we really need to change everything we know. If we don't change it, we know that already, George. We can just not go around and, as you say, go around. What do you say? Go around the bush or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Beat around the bush, yeah.
Yeah. We really need to do some changes which are essential for our well-being.
Yeah.
We really need to do that. If we don't, guess who gets hurt? You and me.
Yeah.
You and me get hurt. And do we want that responsibility? I wouldn't want to be the one to do that.
Yeah, not something that one would want to look forward to.
No. I don't. I just don't. I think we have so much to give each other if only we knew how to do it.
Yeah.
I talk so much. The most important thing I want to tell you in my conversation with you is that the greatest hope for changes on Earth lies within you and within every one of us. You know, it's really funny. I went to New York. I go to New York City quite often because of the their work with the United Nations. One day, the elders, the organizations wanted my support for a resolution from the indigenous world to support them for what's happening in the world. And I said, no, I can't. And they looked at me and said, you are our elder. I said, thank you so much. I am your elder. And but I can't support that. They wanted to know why I cannot support them. I said, you know what we have been doing? We have literally been making resolutions for so long, but we can't keep doing it. It's not working. We have to change. We really, really have to change.
Yeah, and learn from our mistakes or the happenings in the world, like Katrina.
What happened is that we make a resolution, then we wash our hands, and then we carry on, because then we have done our work, and then everyone has agreed on it, and we wash our hands. You know, there was only one group on earth who were allowed to wash their hands. They called the Romans. Remember what happened in Roman history when the Jews took on this beautiful teacher called Christ and wanted to put him to court. Romans said, no, we cannot be involved. This is your issue. And they washed their hands. They are the only ones who were allowed to be washing their hands. None of us had that responsibility. It was already taken. It's like there's only one who can carry the earth, the world. You soft George, cannot carry the burdens of everyone around you. Atlas is the one who did that for us. So we cannot, time of resolutions have passed. And it really, really has passed already. So we had to change. We had to give this beautiful earth, we call Mother Earth, an incredible chance. The chance is to give us a change within. That's what I wanted.
That's really the one main message that seems to me to be the effects of this, is to try and instill that into people more and more, that you can't sometimes stop what's going to happen, but you can change within.